Hey everyone, welcome to the live stream tonight. We've got a great live stream. We have launched the camper van conversion blueprint. That's my DIY camper van conversion course. It is live officially on vanbuilderhq.com. And yesterday we did the launch. Today we're going to go over not only the camper van conversion blueprint very quick, we're going to get into talking about the entries that I have made, or the answers that I've put together for the forum. So what I'm doing is I'm putting together questions and answers that you guys have asked on the YouTube channel, as well as other means as far as maybe in the live stream chat, emails, stuff like that. We're going to go through and check it out. So we'll start off with the conversion course really quick to let you know what it is. So let me hop back over here. Actually need to log back in. So as I'm doing this stuff, if you guys have any questions, this live stream is here to help you with van conversion, DIY questions, anything van related, ask me in the chat. But I'm going to log into this so I can show you guys what's in the course. I'm also streaming live on Instagram on the Odyssey Custom Vans Instagram account. If you guys either want to hop on phone or hop back over to YouTube. All right, almost there. All right, so the camper van conversion course, hop on vanbuilderhq.com. You can click course. It's called the camper van conversion blueprint. You can click access for $150. And I've actually have a discount code tonight for 20% off of the course. Let me go ahead and drop that into the chat if you guys are interested. And so that offer is only available during the live stream. So let me grab it. Just making sure this link works, and then we'll get back into the live stream. Excellent. Okay, cool. All right, guys, I just dropped that link into the chat. That gets you 20% off the course. I said thank you for purchasing it during the live stream. All right, let's get into what the course is all about if you are interested. So building your own DIY van, it can be challenging. You might not know where to start. We have the camper van conversion blueprint is going to take you from purchasing the van all the way through going into the build out, specifically the design and layout phase. So even though I walk you through buying a used or new van, the design and layout is really important because that's going to map out the foundation for your whole entire van build. That'll help you make decisions so that you're not spending too much money on stuff that won't fit in the van. And it's also giving you some options on finding some other products to work better within your budget. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop on over to the course itself. And I'm just going to quickly walk through a couple of the modules so you can see what to expect if you do decide to buy the course. Now this view of the course, it's a little bit behind the scenes. Yours will be a little bit different. So you won't have this menu bar over here. But here's all the modules in the course. So we've got a course introduction, step 1, choosing your van, Step 2, design and layout. Step 3, flooring install. Step 4, insulation and sound dampening. Step 5, off-grid power system design. Step 6, fresh and gray water systems, plumbing, and then exterior accessories. Now, although these do have steps, feel free to watch the videos in particular order. The most important is the choosing your van and design and layout. Those are the most important. You need to have a map on how you're going to approach your van. The thing about building custom vans is once you start, if you haven't anticipated some future steps in mind, whether that is where electrical outlets are going to come out in your van, where you're going to cut a hole in the roof, the location of the bed, the orientation of the bed. If you don't take those into account, you may find yourself stuck at a certain point of your build, and you're going to realize that maybe you were off by a couple inches, and now something you anticipated fitting at the front and rear of the van now can't fit. So in the design and layout portion of this course, I take the in-depth on going to shows. I'm showing you a bunch of professional builds and also builds that I've done. And the way that I'm approaching this, of course, is I'm giving you a big wide view of really high-end builds. And the higher-end builds have way more components. So you get to see the extent of all the stuff that you can actually put in a van. And by seeing the whole entire thing, then you can actually start to pare it down to not only your budget, but what you want to do with your build. Because you don't need everything. If we hop over here into my van that Nova's taking a nap in, you can see very simple. I have just one lithium battery. I have a 2,000 watt inverter, and that's basically just to make coffee with my coffee maker. I've got a 110 volt fridge, and I've got an electric water pump over there that's battery powered. I've got two gray tanks, one gray 7 gallon, one 7 gallon fresh. Right here is a tool chest. So this tool chest, simple. The cabinet over here, that's from Lowe's, and then I just painted it. And then the floor is actually excess flooring from a mountain house that my parents redid. So this was extra flooring that I took and put in the van a couple years ago, and it was really nice. It was just enough to do the van. All my electrical and also my diesel heater in here, and the diesel heater, it's the Chinese diesel heater. It's not even the fancy Webasto. Now the vans that I build for customers, all that stuff's got the high-end stuff, air conditioning, Webasto, 600 amp hours of lithium iron phosphate. So you can go all over the place. But what I try to help you see in the course is all the experience of going to shows. There's tons of great photography that I've taken of components, just going through a trade show, taking a bunch of photos of a bunch of different components. I go over those components, and not only that, I overlay some sketches and drawings on top of that and explain all the components. So what you'll see in the course introduction, and let me back up here, because the course introduction, it's the course introductions. It tells you what to expect when you first get into the course. So it's just an easy way to explain what's all in there. So the first part, the purpose, I'm going to give you the vocabulary needed to understand the products. So if you don't know what an inverter is, if you don't know what a lithium iron phosphate battery is, maybe you only know what lead acid and AGM batteries are, it's okay. This course is for everyone, any different levels, beginner to advanced. You can all take something from this. Real life examples, again, tons of photos of vans that I built in the shop for customers, photos from vans at trade shows. I think the trade shows are really nice because you just get to see all kinds of different designs, And especially in the off-grid power system section of the course, what's nice is I've got about 5 or 6 photos of vans. They're all different. And each van, it's got the same components. They're just organized in a different order, or might be from a different manufacturer. So you can kind of see that it's not really kind of what you go with, it's how you assemble those together for a working power system. And I even go into all-in-one systems like the EcoFlow and give you my advice on, do you want to have a modular system, or do you want to have the EcoFlow, which is just an all-in-one system? And there's also limitations to that as well. I go over personal recommendations. So if there's something that I think is just, it's the thing you gotta have and it makes your life better, I'll tell you about it. I'd say not only are the lectures really important, the lectures that is the first video on each part of the module, that's exclusive to the course. You're not gonna find that video anywhere else. It's exclusive to when you purchase the course. It's in there, as well as the PowerPoint presentations. They're lengthy, but they're extremely detailed. Again, great photos, great tips and advice. But below that, in the modules, you're going to have additional resources. So if I pop back over here to the course, so let's just say we go to, let me pick one here. Let's go to flooring install. So the flooring install, we've got the flooring install video. Actually, let's go to, trying to see what's a good example. Okay, let's go to the off-grid power system. There's a bunch in this module. So right here, we've got the lecture. So this is the video lecture. I think for power system design, it's about 2 hours and 10 minutes long. So it's pretty much everything that's in my brain through the lecture to kind of help you guide you in a DIY van process. And the course, again, skip around. You can scrub through the videos. There's just a bunch of information. So, take your time going through it. You do have access to the PowerPoint slides that I use and reference doing the lecture. But here's the next part, the tools and resources. So there's a bunch of diagrams. There's additional videos that show how to install certain items. So for example, how to install a 30 amp shore power plug, start to finish, before you drill the hole till when you're putting the last 2 screws in. Going over going over solar power system design. And then below that, we've got even more resources. And these are previous videos that I've done, but they're all organized in the course. So you're not having to jump around to figure out relevant supplement videos for the course. They're all in one place. So for example, that is a module with a lot of information. And what I want you to do is just go through each one. And if there's something that you need to know, if there's a question you're wanting to get an answer to and you did not find it for some reason throughout the whole entire course, when you purchase the course, you have access to our forum. So if we go to vanbuilderhq.com, we click on forum, you're going to be able to access this forum. And you'll be able to ask me questions directly on the forum. And what I'm actually doing every day to add all the questions that we've had in the past, whether it's on the YouTube channel, emails, customers that I've worked with in the past, any question that relates to helping you with a DIY van build or just van building in general is going to be in this forum. So you get access to that when you purchase the course. So I'm actually, this was the next part. We'll just go ahead right into it. This was the next thing I was going to talk about today. So for example, today I worked on 5 questions and answers from our YouTube channel. So we have, thankfully, you guys ask so many great questions in the YouTube channel. It's hard to get to all of them, so this is me chipping away, and instead of giving you a quick answer, each one of these is a complete answer. And if I have the answer and then a link to something explaining that, I embed it into the forum. So what we're doing now is we're inside the forum on vanbuilderhq.com, and we're going to go to this first question. So this first question is, can I install click-together flooring in my van over the existing mat with cushion, or is it necessary to use plywood as a base layer? So what they're talking about is inside a van, when you buy a new cargo van, there's a mat that's put down, and it's kind of formed to the corrugations in the floor. And it's like a factory bed liner would be to a pickup truck. It's just a rubber mat with some sound deadening, just to kind of get the van out the door, and then have something so you're not loading raw material onto the van, because it's a cargo van, a work van. That's what that mat's for. So they wanted my advice if they could just put a flooring system on top of that, and my immediate answer is no, I would not do that. You need a hard base, because so yeah, let me just answer it here. So Wanda asked the question. The answer that I gave Wanda was, let me zoom in here. So it said, hi Wanda, I recommend removing the existing mat, even though it has a rubber-faced padded backing. While it seems suitable as a base, it won't work well for the flooring because it doesn't provide a rigid foundation. The mat's flexibility can cause issues with the click-together flooring. You guys might call it click lock. Instead, install a plywood base to create a solid surface for proper installation. This will reduce road noise, improve comfort, and extend the life of your floor. And then I just said, for more details, you can check out the DIY floor install video. So if you go to our YouTube channel and you click on this link, and I always got to make sure that when I click on the link, it doesn't go somewhere else. And okay, here we go. So what'll happen is this will go to the YouTube channel, and in this video, what I'm doing is I'm teaching you guys how to start installing the floor. What's nice is when you purchase the van course, there is a new lecture, so that's what you're getting exclusive to the course. So basically, it's 3 of the flooring installs that I've done, everything that I've learned about them, and then it's put into a new module right here. So you get to see, here I'll show you. So on the flooring, and I'm trying not to show you too much about this. It's hard to show you without showing you. But something that you've not seen before, if you've been watching the channel, is there is a 6-part floor series for John and Susan's van build. And so what I've done is I've created the 6-part series, and it's the latest series in floor installs. So it's the most in-depth install of a flooring system. And so anything that I've learned in the past that I got better at, or some new products, they're in this course. So if you want access to that, you can just buy the course, get access to it, and not only will you have access to that info, but you'll have access to the forum, which the forum I think is just going to be great. It's just all kinds of knowledge, and I can't wait to see the questions that come. So anyway, that's an answer to one of them. I'm going to go through 4 more, and hopefully you guys have some questions through the live stream tonight. So next question is, have you experienced any issues installing a solar panel above the forward roof antenna? How does the placement affect performance or reception? So over here on this van, you can see this is the roof of the Ford Transit. Now, my van is a 2019 model with just straight base options. There's no antenna or anything like that. Actually, yeah. So my van didn't come with an antenna, so I don't really have to worry about that. However, if you do have probably a 2020 and up, there's going to be an antenna. It's about right here, and it's just a plastic housed antenna from Ford. And if you got the Wi-Fi package option, or like the 4G LTE option and GPS, I think that's what it's for the Ford Sync. If you got that, that antenna is what is going to be communicating that. The question was, does covering that antenna with a solar panel, does it affect the signal? And what they had seen was in Thomas's van, so that's Marine 1, what I did was, let's see if I can find that video. Well, look at that. It's the first thing that pops up. Okay. So, hold on. I'm actually going to add, who's on the Instagram, by the way? Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to edit this real time just because I need to. So what I'm doing is I'm going in and I found the video that I want to show you to help answer the question. So that's this one right here. Because in this video, I show you exactly how to fix this question. So we'll go over this video because some of you guys have not ever seen this before. So, hey to everyone on Instagram. I can't see you. I got the phone flipped around, so I can't see my screen right now. I'm gonna have to get a separate setup for doing two things at once. Okay. Actually, I'll do this later. This is gonna take. All right, let me just open this up. Okay, we're on the top of Thomas's van. All right, there you go. We're on the top of the van. This is when I was building his van out. I can't believe I'm saying a couple years ago. That's pretty wild. But right here, this is where the antenna goes. So you can see kind of the marking. So what we're doing is we're using a scan strut cable seal. We're doing that to seal the hole up. And the reason we're using it, I'm sorry, where is it? Yeah, this one, the big pack. This small one is for something different. The bigger cable seal from Scan Strut, we're using that because the wire in the Ford antenna, you cannot cut it, strip it, and then it's a, what am I trying to say? It's a coax, it's a mini coax cable, and there's no way that any of us, including myself, have the tools to redo that. It'd be way too expensive to buy a kit to cut and strip and reconnect it. So what you have to do is buy a cable seal kit that allows you to kind of like clamshell around the cable and put it in. So that's what I did. Now here's the thing. I don't know that this antenna would have worked if I just covered it up. This was the first time I covered one up, and I just wanted to make sure when I got done with the roof, I didn't have any, there was no way that it would be covered up. I'd move it and it would be good to go. So to answer their question on the forum, what I basically said is, I can't confirm any issues with covering the Ford factory antenna on the roof with a solar panel. However, the first roof rack I installed did move the antenna outside of the solar panel where it was not covered, only because I was preventatively doing it while I was at the installation point. So I just did it just because I was there. The next build, which was John and Susan's van, actually John and Susan's van was 2 builds after Thomas's. But the next build, John and Susan's van, I did cover the antenna with a solar panel, but I also installed a new stereo system with a separate GPS antenna mounted to the windshield. So it's difficult to say if the solar panel covering the antenna affected the Ford Sync GPS enough for it not to work. And this is because when I talked to John and Susan, what they're doing is they have a Dynavan stereo in their car, which is in their van, which is really awesome. And the Dynavan takes over the Ford Sync through a converter cable or adapter cable. And in the Dynavan, which is the head unit, the new stereo head unit, there's a connection for a separate GPS antenna. So the Ford one, in my understanding, is gone. And once you put the communication cables together, it relays it to the new GPS. That new GPS antenna I put right here on the inside of the windshield. And that is what kind of made the system happy. Nothing gave an error code as like it didn't have a signal. But what made it more challenging to give a straight answer about this is John and Susan used Apple CarPlay for their navigation. So by using Apple CarPlay, it's typically what's cellular based, like 4G or 5G. But John and Susan did get a GPS software pre-installed with the Dynavan system that works off the Dynavan's internal GPS antenna that I mounted. I know this sounds kind of complicated, but basically the point is the Dynavan has its dedicated GPS antenna glued to the windshield, and John and Susan are using the Dynavan as a backup. So we tested it, it worked, and then they're using the 4G, 5G cell phone GPS like Google Maps for everything else. So what I kind of finished with the answer was, if you feel comfortable enough to relocate the Ford factory antenna, it might be good to do this, seeing how Ford sometimes updates the systems on newer vans remotely. So again, there's been no issue that I know of with any updates or something like that, because the newer updates, their van is a 2021. I do think the newer vans will probably do over-the-air updates, but that's something, haven't dealt with the problem, so I'm not sure. So some of these I can kind of guide you on the answer. But the last thing I finished up with is, if your van is newer, make a note that when you do relocate the antenna, there's not that much of cable. So I got a typo right there. So there's not that much cable, only about 8 inches to work with or so. So just consider the final mounting location on the roof when you're moving it, because if you see the video here, see that cable right there? It's about 8 inches. So what I had to do was I had to clip the clips inside the van and move the whole wiring harness about 2 feet. So that got me 2 feet to this point, but then I only had, probably 8 to 10 inches of room to move it to the side rail. And then I just talked to them about, using a waterproof gland so that you can wrap it around there. And then in the bottom of these, what I do is I put the original question from YouTube, and then I put the video that they referenced in the question. So if you guys want to know what video were they watching when they asked the question on YouTube, it'll be this one. What I'm going to do to update and edit this, I got to fix that typo but I'm going to add this video link to this. So I'm always trying to just improve, like constantly kind of chip away with some really good answers and responses. The next one, this is recent. This had to do with when we were doing the live streams on replacing the Dometic RTX 2000. I know I didn't follow up on where that went. As you can see, all the vans are now with their customers and they're not in the shop anymore. So I have some footage on my cell phone that I need to get uploaded, but long story short, on the Dometic debacle is Dometic ended up sending me a new unit to replace the old unit, even though that the failure mode on the old unit was only a fan. And that has to do with supply chain issues. So that's pretty wild. It's wild that, so big props to Dometic for, I mean, that's massive customer service, shipping a new unit to fix a small fan problem. So they took care of me. They shipped it. I got it in a week, and I put the brand new unit in. So I actually have, put the brand new unit in, and it's working, all good to go. But yeah, it's pretty wild that that was the fix for this this whole thing. But yeah, I'm going to follow up with them on the phone and talk about the second part of that, which is the some details on the warranty replacement. So if you're wondering about Dometic's warranty, first up, I'm just going to kind of riff on this topic since we're kind of answering this question. But I'm impressed with Dometic's customer service. One, because they were going to do a one-time part replacement for me. What do they call that? Like a grace period or something like that. Because at the time that this happened, I was still waiting on my dealer account number for Dometic for my shop. So I was still waiting on that while this problem was happening. So they were going to help me with this, even though I didn't have the dealer account yet. Thankfully, during the whole process, I got the dealer account, and I was able to do everything paperwork-wise from A to Z, just like normal. But the folks at Dometic, I called them. They helped me with troubleshooting at first. They told me all the steps that I needed to do, how to fill out the warranty form to get the whole process started. And then I did a bunch of testing. It was deemed that the 24-volt fan was the failure. Actually, I think it's a 48-volt fan. The unit is a 12-volt unit, but the fans operate at 48 volts through a different circuit. So they didn't have any fans in stock. And yeah, they sent me a brand new unit. And then we just swapped it out. So I had a good experience. Not sure about others' experience, but I had a good experience, good communication, emails back and forth, which makes me more confident to go with them in the future because I know the full circle. I know when I buy it, I know when I install it, and then I have a service loop. Same thing goes when I got the Webasto certification training. When I took it's a 2-day course. It's almost 9 hours of just webinar. It's a lot of information, but the Webasto training was very helpful because I got to see inside the company. I got to actually see, how nice, or not nice, but very high quality unit. Webasto products, I get a big thumbs up on that. And those are the ones I've always installed in vans anyway. So now that I'm a certified repair shop for those, so I'm Webasto certified, the bonus is now I have kind of that loop closed. So if I install that for a customer and have issues in the future, not only do I know I've been trained to repair it, but I've also have access to Webasto themselves. So I think my direction is, until I know that kind of that loop's closed, I know where I can buy the product, install it, and then have a service loop on the bottom. Those are the products I'm going to put in future customer vans, for example. Back to the question. So when I did the live stream and was talking about the problems with the Dometic RTX, somebody was asking, where can I purchase a replacement condenser fan for the Dometic RTX 2000? Is there a direct link available for buying the fan online? Quick answer is no. Unfortunately, you need a dealer account with Dometic to purchase parts directly from them. While they may offer a one-time pass, it's typically necessary to have a dealer number to order replacement parts. And that makes sense. I've actually heard a lot of HVAC companies are now doing this. So where a homeowner could actually go in and buy some parts to do it themselves, those are coming hard to come by. Now, I will say Dometic does have two divisions. So surprisingly, some of their products are from one division, and then the other products are from something called their truck division. So believe it or not, the Dometic RTX 2000, just like a little history lesson here, that unit was specifically designed for sleeper cabs on semi-trucks. So that was its specific purpose, and the division that does the troubleshooting and warranty and all that stuff is their truck division. So pretty much I ended it with, call one or the other to try to find out what product you're trying to get. So for this particular example, it's probably the truck division. That's who I went through. And those guys there, extremely helpful. Yeah, it was nice. All right, and next question. Are spring-loaded hinges effective for a Murphy bed in a camper van? How do they compare to gas strut hinges in terms of space efficiency and ease of use? So this question is from this video. This is an old video. You guys can see the intro is. All right, so zoom in here. Okay, this is Thomas's van when we were starting to build it, and we're doing the 80-20 structure. Over the water tank here is where his Murphy bed is. We did a Murphy bed because, if you remember, he has a motorized wheelchair that goes up the ramp in the back of the van, and we need the bed out of the way when he's transporting his electric wheelchair, and then we need the bed, when it's out, we need the bed to fold down to make a bed. So what I was doing here was I was trying to figure out how to make everything work, and I didn't have room for struts or hinges. So first I made the bed out of 80-20, and then I covered it in modified slats from IKEA. So these are the IKEA bed slats, and basically what I did was I just chopped off the like the canvas strips that are stapled to hold it together, because I was trying to make this as light as possible, but also have that spring effect for comfort as normal beds do. And then you can see here, this is, I got fire door hinges. So these fire door hinges, I got 5 of them, and you can crank up this tension in the spring, and they create like a helper spring to open and close the bed. So I took those and I installed them at the base of the mattress frame. And just to quickly go back to what the question was, I made a note that spring-loaded hinges for a Murphy bed, they work well with aluminum or lightweight wood frame, but I would not recommend for steel or anything heavier. And it depends on how much leverage the bed has. So if you have bed frame that has two sides and that are short, and they come together like this, there's not that much leverage. But when you have a whole bed that comes down like that, it's a lot of leverage and it's hard for the spring to make up for that. So I pointed that part out. And then I said, even with the springs maxed out, the bed can still slam down if not guided. So for Thomas's situation, these springs here were just to assist when he guides the bed down. But if as he's laying the bed down, if he just let go, it would slam down. It wouldn't hurt anything, it'd be loud. So, yeah, so I just did a little deep dive on that. And then if this helps you with the answer, I put some notes down here and let you know that these are single action stainless steel 3.5 inch by 3.5 inch spring hinge, so that if you wanted this, I even put the model number. Yeah, it's just a bunch of information that should help you with getting the question answered. So next, this is our last, I'll answer this one too. This one I need to edit. So this last question is, how can I prevent condensation from damaging the circuit board during a pneumatic cooling X2 48 volt air conditioner install? This one was referencing the video that I did on John and Susan's van. And what they're asking is, I explained in this video, and I think sometimes when I'm teaching you guys about vans, I say something that may happen. It's rare. And then I think a lot of people think that is immediately going to happen to their van. So they get worried. I'm only saying it so that you guys know what might happen, and that in the future, if it does happen, you can quickly be like, oh, that's right. Nick said that if I didn't installate this, or if I didn't mount it like this is a problem that could happen. So that's kind of my intention. So for this rooftop AC, I'm kind of a fan of Dometic because the Dometic units have a all-in-one housing. The housing is made to the unit. So you're not having to do what I'm doing right now, which is build a foam baffle and then take duct tape and like the silver ductwork tape and seal up the ceiling. So there's pros and cons. The Dometic unit does not have as high BTU output. It's 12 volt. The pneumatic cooling, which is in this video, it is a 48 volt system, very efficient, and it has higher BTUs. But the catch is you have to make your own little intake and exhaust, not plenum, what do I call this? Housing, vent housing, intake, vent housing. And in this video, I explained that if you don't seal this up well, that it can possibly add to the condensation of the AC unit. So the question was, how do you prevent condensation and damage to the circuit board? The reason that they're saying that is if I pull this out, how do I get to show you? So the piece of metal, let's see if I can do this. Okay, so here is the come on, computer. All right, here is the vents. So these are the vents, and then this is the intake on the right. The foam separates it. But where the foam separates it is this circuit board. So in a perfect world, the foam is to go, according to pneumatic, and I agree, the foam goes between the vents and the circuit board, so that the side over here with the vents, that is going to be the cold air output, that is the first thing that's going to condensate. And when it does condense inside these vents, it's possible it could drip. Now, the AC should not condense in, dry environments. If it's humid or it's raining outside, don't expect this unit to be able to handle everything. Rooftop AC units just inherently are kind of doing, a miracle, because not only are they small, compact, and work on 12 volts, 48 volts, they're doing a lot of work for a little package. And to expect them to operate like a household air conditioning system, or a mini split for that matter, that's stretching it just a little bit. So I always want everyone to kind of manage their expectations when they buy these rooftop AC units, whether that's Dometic or Nomadic. They're doing a lot for their small size. Now, I'm not saying if one is not performing the way that it was designed to, and that's what happened with a newer customer of mine. They had their van built by a different builder, and that builder had put in a Nomadic rooftop AC, 48 volt, and it has nothing to do with the builder. The Nomadic 48 volt unit, the X3, started freezing over, and had nothing to do with the van, nothing to do with the ceiling, the way it was mounted or wired. The unit had just a fluke, and it needed to be completely replaced. So I got it shipped here, completely replaced it. Oddly, it was within the same week that I was replacing the Dometic 12 volt unit. So what's nice about that is I had all the ladders set up, I had all my tools, and everything went by super quick because I was prepped. But what can happen with these units is, if that foam is not completely sealed, that really cold air can mix with the warmer return air and create condensation. That condensation on this particular unit, I'm not sure, this is not a hit on Nomadic, but I'm not sure why they don't put a heavy conformal coating onto the circuit board. And if you guys are computer IT, nerds out there, industrial application circuit boards typically have heavy conformal coatings, which is basically, it's a coating sprayed onto the circuit board so that moisture, oil, grease, dirt, it gives the circuit board a fighting chance in a industrial environment. So I used to be an engineer at a textile company when I was straight out of college, and the computers and stuff that worked in those environments, it's incredible that they worked at all. And then I worked at a Bosch, which was an automotive manufacturer, and we made the ABS hydraulic units. And the coolant that is used for the CNC machines, even though it was apart from the circuit boards, those circuit boards, I don't know how that happened, but they were coated in coolant. They were always damp and wet, and it was always amazing that they worked. Long story short, the circuit board in this has the potential to get damp because of the hot and cold kind of clashing. So that answer that I gave was the difference in presence of humidity where you're located. So like if you're in Florida versus Arizona, that's what's going to affect how your AC unit works. If you're in Florida and the humidity is really high, that cold air that's coming out of the vents is going to hit that warm, humid air. Even if your van is already cooled down inside, you still are not removing all that humidity. And it's just tough. It's just tough for the AC to handle that. The best way you can do it is by properly insulating your van, walls, ceiling, floor, sealing off the airspace around the rooftop AC. So that was the next part of this answer. This there's this airspace right here. So see this, where you can see the roof and the ceiling? We need to seal that off. I need to find that video. So I've got a video, it may not be uploaded, but I tape and I seal this area, so I air seal it, so that any air, damp air from, or hot, humid air that's in the ceiling or whatnot, because the roof of the van is really hot, I don't want it to get into the AC. So I pretty much said, do that. And then your backup plan is to coat the exposed circuit board with a conformal coating. And essentially, think of it like, it's like a waterproof spray for your leather boots. It's kind of like the same thing. It's not exactly the same thing, but it's like that. And what it can do is it can help the condensation from shorting points on the circuit board. And you may be asking, Nick, how come the factory doesn't do this? Well, it just comes down to cost. They don't, it's just one more thing that takes away from, the product, I guess sales or whatnot. But you can just grab a can of this and do it. What is funny is some of the parts of the board are coated and some are not. So that always puzzles me, why the whole entire thing wouldn't be just coated. Anyway, to kind of wrap this up, I said I have this little instruction here on how to use the conformal coating on it. And also the Max Fan circuit board. That's another place that I would put this coating. Now here's the thing. You could install this air conditioning unit and 10 years nothing happened with no conformal coating. So I'm not saying you have to do this when you get these products in, but if you're starting to have issues, maybe approach this as a first troubleshooting step. So another, might be a hard pill to swallow, but understand when you are purchasing AC units or any product in a van, there is a limited warranty. It's typically 1 year from the manufacturer. And so even if I install an AC unit on your roof of your van, we get 1 year together to hopefully make sure that or we have 1 year together to at no cost fix whatever happens to the AC unit. After that 1 year, the parts have to be purchased because the unit goes out of warranty. So that happens in the first year. And so getting back to kind of the beginning of this video, having the relationship with the manufacturer and being able to get spare parts, it's kind of like that full circle that you want to have. So if you're a DIYer, and this kind of goes, we're going for full circle here. So if you're a DIYer and you're building your camper van, this is some advice for you. And that is, I was actually chatting with somebody in the live stream. He was very concerned that the Dometic unit that he bought was going to fail in the next couple weeks. And I said, hey, it's kind of like a lottery. There's so many thousands made. Maybe that one that you have is just a bad one. That doesn't mean they're all bad. I know a lot of vans that, they've been running for years and they've never had an issue. But if you're a DIYer, my advice would be, if you're going to purchase an AC unit, find a reputable person to purchase from. And, when you purchase it, just ask, hey, how can you support this if I do have a warranty issue? And then you can find a dealer, such as myself, and we have access to getting replacement parts as well as the knowledge to, fix your problem. So, I guess that's a plug for me too. So, if you guys have Dometic AC units, if you have Webasto units, and you're on the East Coast, I'm in North Carolina, and if you have some AC troubles or heating troubles, give me a call, reach out to me. My information's everywhere. It's on Vanbuilder HQ as well. But if you're ready to take this journey and do your DIY camper van conversion, you're ready to get started, buy that van, the camper van conversion blueprint is for you. This is the course for you. It goes start to finish. We already talked about the modules in the course. It's going to help you. It's going to guide you on choosing your van. It's going to guide you on designing and lay out your floor plan. It's going to help you go from the bottom of the floor, how to insulate it, picking out materials, coming up through the walls, sound deadening, insulation, understanding how to size your off-grid power system, where everything needs to go in the van, taking your fresh and gray water tanks and understanding how to use them. You know, do you need 7-gallon tanks or do you need 36-gallon tanks? We talk about all that. And then the icing on the cake is the exterior upgrades. You know, do you want to have a roof rack with rear storage or rear storage boxes or rear tire carriers? Do you want to lift your van? Do you want to have running boards? Do you want to have a front bumper with a winch? You know, what considerations are you thinking about putting together for your van? That's in the course. And if you have a question that didn't get answered in the course, you have access by purchasing the course to the forum. So this forum right here is the one that we went over tonight. I just showed you a couple of the answers from it. And over time, it's going to have hundreds, if not thousands of questions and answers. So it's going to be really cool. I'm really excited about it. But yeah, if you want to purchase the course, it is available today. Guess what? The course, don't forget, in the chat box right now, there's a 20% off discount code for staying tuned to the live stream. Click on that. It's going to get you 20% off the course, and I think it's going to really help you out with your DIY camper van build. All right, guys, let me check see what's going on Instagram over here. Funny. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this live stream. Check out the course, visit vanbuilderhq.com. If you have any other questions about this live stream, put those in the comments below. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit that thumbs up, share this video to anybody who is doing a DIY van and needs some help. You could even gift somebody this course if you know they're building their own van. So yeah, if you do decide to do that, use the 20% off discount that is available during our live stream sessions. And that's going to do it for tonight. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next live stream.